Okay, hi guys. I just watched the new movie, Happy Gilmore 2. I didn't like it, and here I'm gonna do a review saying why. And it's gonna be spoilers and it's gonna be audio only, so I mean there's not gonna be any changing visuals for this video, so you can just listen to it, I guess. And this is also unscripted, so I mean, I've watched the movie and I wrote down all the things I want to talk about in general, but I didn't take notes during the movie, which is usually what you should do. But I don't really care about this movie enough to have done that. I'm not gonna watch it again, man. Okay, so let's quickly go over the plot. Happy Gilmore, he is happily married, and then he shoots his wife with a golf ball and she dies, which is a reference to his dad dying by in the first movie. So his wife dies and then he says, I'm never gonna play golf again and I'm gonna get addicted to drinking. So then he has four sons and one or two daughters, I think. And this weird guy lives with him, I guess it's his buddy who just lives with him. Maybe it's his uncle, I have no idea. But he has a beard. So then he gets addicted to drinking and he gets a job at the supermarket. And there's this reoccurring joke in the movie that they just couldn't stop doing for some reason, where he has like at least 50 different objects that are just flasks. They're hollow, like he's in the supermarket with the produce. And then he has a cucumber and he opens it and it's a flask, and he has golf club flasks and whatever. So then his daughter is like, I want to go to a fancy school in France. And then she's like, it costs a lot of money though. So Happy Gilmore is like, I gotta get money, man. How am I gonna do that? He decides to start golfing again and stop drinking, I think. But then he drinks more later anyway. So he goes golfing and Eric Andre is there, not as himself, and two other people I don't know. I don't know, man. There's like a million. Is it? I don't. There's like at least 100 cameos in the movie, man. It's messed up, and I don't even know most of these people. I mean, and they just show up. It's like, here's Guy Fieri. He's here for 10 seconds, man. Eminem was in the movie. I'll talk about it more later. So he goes golfing, and then he's not doing very well in it, but then he starts doing well in it, and he goes to some Alcoholics Anonymous meeting that's hosted by Hal, played by Ben Stiller from the first movie. Then he's gonna start golfing again, okay? Turns out there's a new fancy way of golfing in town. This is the modern way of golfing called maxi golf, and it's some stupid, weird golf where the guy controls the course. I don't know. And they're like, Happy, we need you to help us. We need to assemble a team of master golfers so we can compete with the new maxi golfers. And the head of the maxi golfers is some guy played by Benny Safdie, who directed Uncut Gems. So, I had seen before the movie came out, Benny Safdie's gonna be in it. And, from the one time that I watched Uncut Gems, I was like, yeah, that's a pretty great movie. So I had hopes for that would be a good part of the movie, Benny Safdie being in it. But his character really, really sucked and wasn't funny and had a really bad orange hair. I don't know. It was bad. So then they go and Shooter McGavin from the first movie is shown to be in a mental institution, and he gets bailed out by the Maxi Golf Benny Safdie guy. And then turns out Benny Safdie, he has a whole gang of maxi golfers who have some nerve cut in their body that allows them to drive the ball further. And Shooter McGavin is like, oh man, I don't know if I can deal with that. And then he goes and finds Happy Gilmore, and gets in a fist fight with him in a graveyard that references a bunch of the people that are dead from the first movie. And it's supposed to be like a reference to when he fought Bob Barker in the first movie, but it's like, stop with the references, man. So he fights Happy Gilmore, Shooter McGavin, they fight. And then within like a minute, they've teamed up for some reason. I might have zoned out for a minute, man, but where all of a sudden, Shooter McGavin was coaching Happy Gilmore's players, so I don't know, man. So then, yeah, just a bunch of stuff happens. There's like 50 cameos that happen, and then they're doing a golf match with the Maxi golfers, and Happy Gilmore wins. So yeah, and then there's 12 minutes of credits, which I was kind of happy about, honestly, because halfway through the movie, I checked to see how much there was left. There was an hour left, and I'm like, oh my God. I didn't want to watch a more hour of this, but I did anyway. So then the credits roll, and I'm like, oh wow, there's 12 minutes of credits. So I was happy about that. Didn't have to watch as much of the movie as I thought I did. I watched the credits for a little bit, guys, because it was like 50 people in the credits were just like as himself, as herself, like all the cameos, man. So I want to go over the first problem I noticed with the movie, okay? At the beginning, there's a flashback to Happy Gilmore's life story. He's like, and I did a golf tournament, and I did this ad for Trojan condoms, and that was not in the first movie, and it looks like AI. Like, did they use a AI or de-aging? Because I don't know, watch that first 2 minutes of the movie. They show footage that wasn't in Happy Gilmore 1, so it's kind of odd. I'll just go over the cameos again, guys, okay? They have an insane amount of cameos in this movie. It must take up like a quarter of the movie. And there's no reason, like, there's Eminem is in the movie, and he plays the descendant of Donald from the first movie, who is like heckling Happy Gilmore. And I think he dies, and so that's a cameo, Eminem. And they have a bunch of guys that I've only heard of, but I really don't care. Like, they have the Hot Ones guy. What does he have to be in that movie for? Okay. And they have some podcast, which I heard of because of Dax Flame. I haven't listened to it. I don't care about it, man. The Bad Friends podcast. Why? They should not be putting podcasts in movies, man. Because they shouldn't be putting podcasts in movies, man. Because there's like at least 30,000 podcasts out there, man. Everyone listens to a different one, man. And I have barely heard of this podcast. It's messed up. Don't put podcasts in movies. Travis Kelce, the football player, was in the movie. What's up with that? The only cameo I personally liked was Ken Jennings, the current Jeopardy host, was in the movie, because it was like, oh, Dad, you were Clue on Jeopardy. And it's like a funny thing, I guess, but the movie isn't very funny. But maybe there's people who are like, oh, the Bad Friends podcast is the best cameo in the movie. Then the jokes, man, come up with like two jokes and they stick to them, man. Like Happy's drinking problem, they do that a bunch of times. Oh, what's he gonna drink out of next? And then they forget about it for 30 minutes, and then they do the joke like three more times. And then there's this weird guy who doesn't know how to use the joke, that's what she said, and he uses it like 5 times, man. It's like a whole scene. So yeah, they repeat some jokes, and then they just redo jokes from the first movie. Like, they reuse songs from the first movie. They redo the joke of the heckler, at the golf course. They redo the "you eat pieces of what for breakfast?" And Ben Stiller's in the movie. I remember seeing the news when they were filming, like, Ben Stiller and Adam Sandler been spotted, and oh, Ben Stiller's reprising his role, and I'm not a fan of Ben Stiller. I don't know. I watched Meet the Parents. I really hated it, but I would honestly rather watch Meet the Parents again than watch this again. If I made a sequel to Happy Gilmore 2, this is what it would be, okay? Happy decides to go back to golf to get money, but he gets banned, so he does bowling. And I feel like that would work, like he'd be a powerful bowler. And bowler is a less popular sport, like golf is kind of popular now, so I don't know, it's kind of mainstream, right? I feel like the movie is for a different audience. Like there's a, to me, I've watched a bunch of Adam Sandler movies that I really like the 90s ones, but there's an obvious shift, man. Like sometime in like the 2000s, early 2000s, it becomes for a whole different audience. Like, or maybe it's for people who haven't seen Happy Gilmore in 10 years, like, and then they just laugh at the jokes because they're like, oh, I remember that one. But I watched the movie yesterday, Happy Gilmore 1, to gear up for this, I guess. And then I was gonna watch the movie right when it came out at midnight. I watched like 20 minutes and I decided to go to bed because I'm really glad I didn't stay up for it. I just watched it when I woke up again. And Happy Gilmore has these four boy kids and I really hate them. They're not funny, and he like FaceTimes them when he's golfing, and they all have these curly hairstyles. They just look like every kid you'd see today. That's really a lot of the notes I have, man. I'm just gonna quickly talk about the Subway promo cups they did. They did 4 plastic cups promoting the movie with Subway, and they're pretty cool. There's a Happy Gilmore one, there's a Shooter one, there's a Ben Stiller one, and there's a Happy Gilmore's new caddy one, which I don't think they should have done the new caddy one because I don't know, man, unless you watched the trailer, I guess, but he wasn't in the first movie. Just do the classic characters, man. Even do Happy Gilmore's wife as a cup. They should have done that, but I got I wanted to get the Happy Gilmore cup, and I don't like Subway. But luckily someone I know got one for me, so that was really nice. I got the Happy Cup, and honestly, the cup is better than the whole movie. It's a really nice cup. I do like plastic cups, I don't care. Okay, so that's my review of Happy Gilmore, man. I don't like the movie. Have a good day, guys. Hope you liked my review.